preparing to live stream. Nearly there. So I got a little timer going. There we are. Cool. So we're live on Facebook page as well. So I'm going to share my screen and get cracking. Can I just say as well, you've all been absolutely awesome in the challenge. I know everyone watching this, not everyone's going to be on the challenge. No, not everyone's going to have been in the challenge. So we'll this training is going to be a completely fresh outlook as well, for anyone who hasn't been in the training as well. But for you, those of you who did take part, I just want to say how amazing you did. Times have been a little bit tricky recently with everything going on, and I know myself, and I know so many of you girls as well, were feeling it in the challenge after everything going on in the world. It does, doesn't it? It takes this toll, when we're all mostly feeling people. So to still power on through and keep the spirits up when things going on in the world feel a bit shitty, is really, really good going. So I want to say well done for keeping up the spirits and still plowing through with things. Let me share my. We're unstoppable. I love it. Love it, Laurel. Right, where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay, so it's basically my 3-step method is broken down into 3 steps because it really is that simple. It really doesn't need to be complicated. And I think a lot of people overcomplicate things in business because they feel like it should be harder than what it is. And it's not just about business, it's about life. And that's why it's creating income streams to really fund the life that you want to be living. And basically what got me into all of this was when I first had my daughter. So back in 2017 was when I had Aria, and it literally just changed my life. My priorities, everything completely changed. And that's when I first started looking into ways that I could just be more present and be, that kind of hands-on mum. And I never imagined, I actually had people say to me, I never imagined you wanted to be a stay-at-home mum. And it's not about being a stay-at-home mum. I think there's too many titles and sort of people are given these titles and you know what I'm getting at. And I think there's too much of that. I think it puts it puts a lot of negativity in the world when you have these, when people are given titles. Being a stay-at-home mum, I think, is absolutely incredible because you get to really raise your children and see them, from a way that you really want to see them. And no one should be made to feel bad about going out to work or staying at home. Anything you want to do in life is totally up to you. And something I felt massively was I felt a lot of kickback. I felt a lot of negativity when I said I didn't want this career where I was working 12-hour shifts at the hospital, being away from my family. Those evenings where Lee would be settling down with Aria, she'd be getting ready to go to bed. She was proper cute and cutchy, and there's me my uniform going out the door. I hated it, really, really hated it. And the things people would say to me, oh yeah, but you're lucky, you've got a good career, you've been at uni, why would you want to throw all that away? The things people say is it stops people. Words stick. Words have such an impact on us. And they really, really stick to the core of us. And it has an effect on everything you do in life, the way you feel, the way you think, everything. And it's been quite a journey I've been on over the years. But one thing I knew for certain, no matter how other people felt, no matter what other people said, I knew deep inside of me, I needed more time with my daughter and my family. I could not live the rest of my life working all them hours, with a pension, age, the retirement, raising, and just so much crap. I just thought, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I refused to give up. And I was just adamant I was going to find a way to be able to have that time with my family without sacrificing, finances either. I was adamant I was going to have the best of both worlds. I'd already fought so hard to get into university against the odds. Like, I wasn't born into a family with money. I wasn't born into a family with, like, you know, really good education. And I know, like, some people like will give their stories, and the reason people give you their stories is not like, you hear loads of stuff in the online space, and it really bugs me, like, where people are like, oh, another sob story, another poor to riches thing. You hear loads of stuff like that in the online space. And I just think, like, we should do less criticizing, less sort of, you know, thinking of how other people are conducting their businesses, because there's so many women out there who tell their stories because it comes from a place of passion. It comes from a place of saying, like, look at what I've achieved, look what I've done with my life. And if I can do this, anyone can. And I don't think anyone should be, like, pulled apart for doing that kind of thing. I really don't. I think most people should do it because it encourages other people, it inspires other people to make that difference. And the world would be such a better place if we had more happy people doing, like, the things that they love doing with freedom, with so much more, you know, just freedom to live how they want to live. And that's different to everyone, isn't it? But, like, one of the things that I've really, really, really come to recognize is that no matter what you try and do in life, like, it's normally this in here. This is the thing that, like, holds you back. And that's why in the academy and everything I do is so heavily, like, founded on working on your mindset, on working on just loving yourself and really taking care of yourself and realizing that you are so powerful. Like, you can achieve anything. Like, I came from a family with no money, no education, and I had a bit of not a shit upbringing. I had a fun upbringing. Like, I had a really fun childhood, but it got a bit messy when I got to my teenage years. And, you know, I don't have the very, very, like, rare contact with anyone from my, like, younger years, because as you kind of become more successful in life and you start changing your life, it scares people. I think other people get, you know, all kinds of feelings crop up, and it's important that you don't let other people's, like, feelings and thoughts, like, get projected onto you and what you're doing, and just don't let it, like, distract you from the life that you want to be living, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about your life and the way you want to be living it. Like, our life on earth is a pretty short spell, isn't it? You know, it isn't that long in the grand scheme of things when you think the earth has been here for, like, what, 4 point something billion years. So our life is, like, really, really short. So we've got to really, like, chucking my astrology geekiness out there. You can tell I'm, like, going hell for leather on, like, learning all the ins and outs of the universe lately. Love it. But you can see, like, our life is so short. So, like, you want to be living it the best life you possibly can. Like, if you're not happy with your home environment, start making a change right now. Like, what can you start doing right now to make that difference? Like, what can you do to change it? And the thing is, like, a lot of people are so stuck on the negativity of their subconscious mind, the way we've been conditioned to think. So many people are, like, stuck because all they see is obstacles. And instead of, like, thinking, okay, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, it's about thinking, what can you do? Because if you're determined, you'll find a way out of any situation. Like, I guarantee you. And it's about thinking, like, what can you do? What can you do for more freedom? What can you do to make more money? What can you do to be able to move home, or you know, whatever it is that you want to do? There's always a way, but you've got to be determined, and you've got to start looking for those ways and not settle for anything less. You know, people are settling in life for things that they've been conditioned to settle for. They're settling for things that they've been conditioned to think that that's what their life should be. Like, what makes them so special, or what makes you so special to have anything different? But it's like, every single one of us special, and we are all powerful enough to create the lives we want to create. It's about making little small changes that have big impact and begin that process. And, like, that's what's taken me from working in a day job where I wasn't happy, where I really, really wanted more time to be with my family and wanted more freedom as well, and more financial freedom, to now building up what I've built up now, which is like multi six-figure revenue. And when we talk about revenue and profits, like my profit margins are way, way exceeding what I would ever be able to make in employment. Like, and that's something, if anyone had like spoke to me, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, say, I would never even have imagined myself being in the position I am now. If anyone had spoken to the teenager me, I would never, ever have imagined myself saying I've got like the finances or the stability, the security that I've got now. I would never have imagined it. And like, this is just, it's just so possible. So don't ever feel like you're in a position where it's not possible, because it is. You've got to believe it first, and then you just take the actions to make it happen. So, sorry, went off on a tangent there. We know how I get a little bit passionate and run off. I'm going to move these things out of my way a minute. So what I've come up with is a 3-step system. And I'm always about making things simple, because we complicate things on purpose because of our mindset. It's our subconscious mind. It's like when we think something's too easy, we think, this can't be right. It feels too easy. It's too good to be true. We've all heard them sayings, haven't we? And a lot of the time it stems from fear. It stems from the fear and all those thought patterns and thought conditionings that we've got to make us believe that it's not that easy, because if it was, everyone would be doing it. What's easy is the steps and the actions you take are easy. The hard part, which the majority of people don't work on consistently enough to overcome it, is the mindset. And when you combine those two, when you combine a good financial plan, like a good financial strategy, along with a good mindset, work, those combined are what can really change your life, the two of them. And when we talk about mindset, it's not something that you can just like one thing fixes it forever. Like it's a lifestyle you've got to get into. And when it comes to like the 3-step system that I've created, I've done it focused on breaking those down to exactly what it is you need to focus on, because it is easy. And the first step is all about having that vision, that family first vision, putting your family before everything else, putting you before everything else, putting your life before everything else. Because a lot of people will get into like wanting to make money, and they don't think of themselves. They don't think of like, what hours you'd like to be working and all stuff like that. And it's about getting really, really like down to the nitty gritty and thinking, what would your ideal dream life look like? And it's so much more than just doing like a pretty vision board. It's about, practicing that through mindset exercises, like doing meditations, or just 5 minutes where you sit and imagine yourself in that lifestyle. Because this isn't like woo stuff. This is science. Like when you train your brain to see something over and over and over again, once you like work on that consistently, your subconscious starts to believe that, actually, yeah, they see it. Your subconscious mind is really, really powerful, and it sees, it's quite matter of fact. So when you're consumed with negativity and all the reasons why you can't do something, it imprints, it sticks in your subconscious. So it'll like pour out with negativity all the time. Every time you have an idea or a thought, it'll override it with negativity, because it soaks up that. So if you feed lots and lots and lots of positivity, your subconscious mind will get reprogrammed to start leaking out positivity. So it's going to make the things that you've got to do, the actions you need to take, are going to become easier. You're not going to get resistance to it when you live this kind of lifestyle of practicing positivity. And this is why it's really, really important. And when I first started in business, I remember the first business coach I hired way before I even started my businesses, because I was still working in the hospital. I was on maternity leave, and I wanted to start making a business. And I started off with a wedding planning business. And I really, really wanted to make success fair for all the reasons that I've already said. And I remember my first business coach saying, you need to work on your mindset first. And my attitude was, I'm determined. I don't need to work on my mindset. So I don't need to do all of that fluff. I just want to get to the business strategy. Like, show me how to set up a business. I was very, very, very matter of fact and strategic and science-based, and all the mindset stuff, even though it's science-based. Why we say it's not, I don't know. But we rule it out. We think it's like a load of fluff, and it's really not. It's really not. And even back then, as a qualified radiographer who studied anatomy, I hadn't studied in depth in how the mind works. I'd only looked at it from like a more of a anatomy type of way, rather than our behaviors and things like that. And even there, I was stood there thinking, I don't need that. I don't need that fluff. It's all a load of woo stuff. But yet it really is so important. Like we kind of brush the mindset stuff off and think, because I'm there, and I've heard so many people say it to me as well. And I'm like, that was me a few years ago. I remember myself saying those things. Like, I'm so determined. I make things happen. I take actions. You know, I'm that kind of person anyway, so I don't need to really work on my mindset. Whereas like every single one of us, no matter how positive you are, every one of us needs to continuously work on our mindset to keep that positivity, to keep things going. Because things can happen in life and they can like push on us, and things can feel quite heavy in life. So it's important that we're working on these things. So it's going further than just doing like a vision board and putting it up on the wall. It's living that in your head, like every single day, practicing positivity, practicing like gratitude, being grateful, because then you start to really love the life that you live in as well. And it makes it easier as well, because the other thing that I see a lot in business is women get so carried away focusing on the outcomes, focusing on the goals, that they forget and they get a little bit lost in taking action. They get a little bit too carried away, not living and not being grateful and enjoying the life, like that path together. So, and this happens really, really regular as well. And people get burnt out, stressed, you know, they end up having like fallouts with their families and stuff. There's so much stuff happens. And it's because they're not practicing gratitude, mindset, positivity, and they're not focusing on the whole picture. They're only focusing on the long-term picture and the goal, and they're not living, you know, how they should be as well, getting to that goal. It all connects, and it's all simple. It's literally, you just need to be grateful every day. You've got to look at the positivities, envision that future, and it just makes everything you do easier. You know, it helps you to be able to balance as well. So if you're getting like an off day, things that are a bit stressful in the business or something like that, it makes all the balancing. You'll know when to take a little bit more time out to do this and when you need to focus on it just helps to like synchronize it all and it all to feel more perfect. So like the first step is having that crystal clear vision of what you want your future to look like, but going deeper with that, like making it a part of your mindset routine, a daily routine, to really envision that, really be like, practice gratefulness, practice all those things that's going to help make this journey easier, stop you from resisting and fighting and feeling so much friction against taking the actions, you know. It's going to make things easier. The second step is all about having a freedom plan. Now, this is where we need to really, really focus on multiple smart income streams. And this is where it's about being really, really smart, not just smart income streams, but like automation, all the stuff that's going to make things easy, that's going to give you that freedom. It's going to give you the finances plus the freedom. And this is why, you know, I know many of you were in the Sell Smarter Challenge, but anyone who wasn't, this is where you need to really start focusing on smart, in the sense of looking at what can you sell to multiple people at once? How can you make more money doing less? This is where, you know, we talk about properties and building property portfolios, rentals and things like that. This is where we talk about selling courses and programs and moving from doing one-to-one work to one-to-many work. This is where we talk about moving from bespoke, if you do like tailor-made, bespoke, you know, handcrafted crafted gifts or whatever it is about moving from not necessarily not doing that anymore, but bringing in something else that will allow you to only do the amount of that you want to do. So that when you don't want to do that stuff that's taking your time, you've still got the finances to be able to take the time out. And this is why you need to focus on other streams of maybe teaching others to do what you do. This is why teaching elements of what you do is really, really good. And the other thing that people like, I get this all the time, like, I'm not a teacher, I'm not, I'm not a coach, I'm not this, I'm not qualified. And the thing is, that's all just details. I wasn't a qualified radiographer before I qualified. I wasn't a qualified coach before I qualified. I wasn't any of these things. Like, all of us were born exactly the same. We were just born. There was nothing that one of us had that someone else didn't, and it's the same today. Like today, no matter what things that are propping up and making you feel like, yeah, but I haven't got that, or I haven't got this, like, none of the people who've got that now had that in the first place either. So it's about thinking, okay, what do I need to do to like put that in my timeline so that a year from now I have got that, It's about getting really, really strategic and mapping it out, like having a year plan or a 3-year plan, like whatever that timeline looks like to you, and putting these things in there for that crystal clear clarity on, this is what I want my life to look like, and these are all the things that's going to get me there. Because if you don't do that, you're never going to get it. You're never going to do it. If you just keep putting these obstacles in your way, you're never going to do it. So it's about getting really strategic in a smart way. And instead of thinking, oh, well, I need to sell more of these things, like, don't be so tunnel visioned on what it is that you're selling right now. Think around the box. And this is why I always say to like focus on your passions as well, because this is a good starting point to help you start thinking about what would be a really long-term sustainable business for you or income stream. People don't tend to like think of their passions in the sense of like monetizing them because it feels too close to the heart. A lot of the time, the ways we think of making money have been conditioned. It's like we hear it at school, or we hear it, all the time. People are saying like, oh, there's no money in da-da-da-da-da. Oh, don't go to acting school because not everyone makes it as an actor. There's not much. Like, well, it's ridiculous, really, isn't it? There's loads of money in acting. There's loads of money in like theatre and all these other things. But like, think of it. What's some of the things you've heard people say there's no money in? But yet, when you really think about it, of course there is. Because there's always different ways of doing things from your passion. Do you know what I mean? There's so many different things I've heard people say, and it's just all ridiculous, really. So there's always, we're conditioned to think things or to stop doing things because of the way, things have been put on us. So it's about stripping all that away and just thinking, what am I passionate about? What do I really enjoy? And how can I make money out of that? And there's loads of ways you can make money out of these things. It's just knowing it and taking the steps to make that happen. And these are things that we really focus on. And this is why I've created the Academy to like sculpt all of these areas. These steps, we go in deeper, we go into the different things you can do, and we pull out like the plan of what you're going to do and like how are you going to map out your year or your 3 years so that we know that you're putting in the things that you need to do, because it's like the step by step, isn't it? That clarity on, okay, this is the goal. Okay, what's the actions you need to take to make that goal happen? And that's the thing, it's about breaking it down, because it's about having that bigger picture, that plan, and breaking it down. And once you do that, it's just taking the steps. And sometimes it's like just having someone in your corner to be like, yeah, you can do that. Or just speaking to someone who gets it and understands it, so that you've just got that bit of accountability and that bit of support to be like, yeah, I can do this. It makes a world of difference. And the third part then is all about, the formula of how you can actually put this in place. And a lot of the time, especially when it comes to like online businesses, like everything in this day and age is in the online space, isn't it? There's loads of different ways to market businesses. But a lot of things now are online, and there's more scope to scale online as well. Like, you can totally scale offline. You can totally have really successful businesses offline. And there's loads of ways to do that, like networking, events, all this stuff. but it's so much easier to get our reach and to go global and to go like big scale online. Like if you take, say you sell products or something, and you decide to change that to, well, not change it, but add to that to teaching other people to do what you do. Or perhaps it's something totally different, like you've discovered there's a passion that you really, really enjoy and you're going to start doing that. Like there's nothing stopping you right now from getting in the online space and starting to like grow a following, to really like get yourself out there and show people the journey you're on. Like I always encourage my clients, a lot of people will think they need to go off and do all the qualifications and learn everything before they can start. And I'm like, no, you start now. You take people on that journey with you, because selling is about building relationships too. And this has been the case for decades and decades. Selling's always been the same. You still need to build that relationship, that trust. You still need to build a know, like, and trust. Yeah. So it's like, it's the same thing. And if you take people on the journey with you, like when I started off coaching, I started before I did any qualifications. So I took people on that journey with me. I did some freebies right in the beginning just to get a little bit of experience, you know, and then you take them on the journey. And I was open and honest about it. There's no need to, like, loads of people feel like they got to hold back because they don't see how to start. And I blame that on a lot of the ways coaching have been like portrayed in the past to hide the negatives, if that makes sense. But there's no negative. There's literally no negative to building a business, to coaching. Even like people see failures, there's no failures. It's just figuring out a way that it works for you. And I think people have been too scared in the past and hid things, and then it seems a bit shady and a bit secretive, and you know, there's no need to do that. There's really no need. Like, and I think when you see that, you're able to start from scratch and scale a business without feeling like you can't be completely open and honest, that you've got to portray this perfect, like, you know, image. Like that's what social media does, doesn't it? Social media makes people think that people's lives or people's businesses are perfect, because people tend to only post the things that, you know, are good. They don't put the bad stuff. And it's not, I don't think it's done on purpose either. I think a lot of people just feel more inspired to post things they're inspired or happy about. You know what I mean? So it's just, it is what it is. And then it can portray all kinds of different things. But it's about thinking about getting visible. Like when it comes to like growing an online audience, it's about getting in front of that audience. Even if you're doing it offline, like it's about getting in front of them, like knowing where it is that your audience hang out. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people doing, especially when they come into like the online space selling online, they just create like a Facebook page or you know, an Etsy shop or these things, and they don't do any other work. And some businesses will do okay from that. Some people will like get some sales trickling through, but you can do so much more than that. Like it is so much more than that. And if you've had like business trickling through that way, then you've been quite lucky in that sense as well, because there's more strategy to it than that. It's about bringing people in to those areas. Those are your platforms. So your platforms could be a blog, your website, your social media pages. Those are your platforms. And you need to drive traffic to these platforms. You need to bring people into these platforms. And that's the thing that people miss most of the time, because they build these platforms and think that they, just by posting every day, that's bringing people in. And don't get me wrong, you can, yeah, through like hashtag strategies and stuff like that. But it's good to have like a variety and know all the different ways you can bring audience in and test on them all, so that you can find out the ones that really work well for you, because we're all different as well. All of our social media platforms will work and perform differently too. Like I could set something up exactly the same as one of you guys, and we could be like, let's do a test and post the same things, but we'll get different results. And that's just to do with like the whole analytics and all the stuff of how these platforms work. But literally, it'll work differently for all of us. So it's about testing yours. It's about knowing that you can't just copy someone else's method and it'll work. It's about having good understanding and being taught the different methods. And that's why in the academy, I will show all the different ways like you can market your business. I'll show you like how you can market it through SEO and blogs, or how you can do it through social media strategizing, or how you can do it through like, you know, DM strategies and organic strategies versus like paid strategies, in-person strategy. There's so many different elements and ways you can build a business and get visible, but it's about testing what works for you. So it's like knowing those things. Don't ever take one method and put all your eggs in that one basket, because if that doesn't work for you, where are you going to be? It's really important that you get all these different kind of ideas and then go with the one that works for you. So that's like the roundup of the 3 steps. It's just, it is that simple. And it is about mostly thinking, you know, I can do this, rather than all the reasons why you can't. It's about finding a way of making it happen, staying determined, staying positive, staying focused, and just working your way through these and just sticking to these 3 main areas. Just remembering the positivity, the vision, keeping your eyes on the prize, and focusing every single day on the day-to-day stuff of the positivity, of the gratefulness to get you there. It's about remembering SMART, having that plan, having that strategy, having that timeline of, you know, these are my goals, breaking it down into the actions you're going to take to hit all those goals. And the 3rd part is about bringing in consistent leads, consistent lead generation, and knowing that there is no one, just one method that works and the others don't. Because like, again, the thing with the online space, you can get so pulled and thinged with like, oh, this doesn't work and this works and you should do this, don't try this, that doesn't work. Like, all of it works. It works differently for different people. So it's about just remembering, if you've tried one thing and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean like, it's about trying things differently, trying different ways, keep trying, you know, and knowing all the different methods and testing what works best for you. So, and just remembering it's always about bringing those leads in rather than just turning up day to day on your platforms. You need to do more than that. You need to bring people into your platform, so you're not just talking to yourself. Okay, so that's those 3 steps. So now we're going to talk about my launch. I'm so excited. So I know a couple of you have already messaged me asking about the academy. I used to not like say anything about the academy, and I used to be like really like, no, but I don't see the point in that, because I think it like better prepares people if they know beforehand what they're looking at. So I know some of you already know about this, some of you already know the prices and everything. And what is basically different this time is, if some of you have been in my audience for a while as well, you would have seen like how much this has changed. So my academy is the same signature academy program that I've been delivering for years. For like, when did I start my coaching business? 2018 or 19? 2019, I think it was, January, early 2019. So it's the same academy program that I first ever launched. It's just grown and changed and adapted, and just everything that I've learned over the years just keeps getting added. So it's just gone into like this mammoth coaching program, which covers all the different aspects, with the just breaking it down into like simple steps. So I've delivered this program literally in 4 months, in a couple of weeks, in 6 months. And now what I tend to do is I've changed it completely so that it is, the access is whenever, like as fast as you want, basically. So when you sign up to the academy, you get access to all of the materials instantly, because I know that, again, no one method fits everyone. Some people like to do things at a slower pace. Some people like to just dive in and just consume everything they can literally within a couple of days, binging. So it's about like just making it fit and making it flexible for different people, which is why it's a 12-month live program. So you sign up, you get all of the materials straight away. You get to go at it at your own pace. And what you get then is coaching sessions to drop into and ask questions. And this is something that I've really really changed, and I'm really excited about the change of as well, is that it used to be delivered live. So I would deliver the trainings each session live. But what I found was it didn't leave enough room at the end. We wouldn't get enough time to like answer the questions individually, because like, even though when you teach these things, it's slightly different for each individual. You can have your individual questions. So I always find like clients will always be like, how do I apply this to this? And just having that time to really like focus on those questions and deep dive in individually is gold when it comes. It makes it more than just another program, because like there's so many programs, and my program was like that as well, where you would literally just come through, and if it's a DIY course, it's like you don't get a live element. But when it's a live course, you get a live element, but you don't necessarily get the time, because it's like, well, you might get like a quick question and a quick answer, but you just don't get the time, which is why I decided to offer drop-in sessions. So you literally get the materials to go and watch and to complete. So you get like workbooks, templates, there's like everything in there. You go away and you complete them at your own time, and then you drop into the drop-in sessions, which are fortnightly, to ask any questions and to deep dive. So you get like hot seats. You basically get the attention you'd get from like a higher end mastermind. I've been through like masterminds. I've worked one-to-one with coaches. I continuously like work with coaches in different ways. So I know what works well. And it's just basically what I brought to the academy to make sure it works the best, because that's what I want it to do. And that's what it does, is like it works the best. Like every time I get a run of new clients come through, I've really like focused a lot of my attention on making sure I get a feedback, so I know like how can I improve this. So this is why it's changed, and like it's evolved and developed to be like something I'm really, really, really proud of, and just something that I'd shoot from the rooftops about, because I am really proud of it. So you get a whole year of access, and the reason I've decided to give a whole year of access as well is because the amount of times that I've had clients come through, and you get, some clients will literally just go through, implement everything, done, dusted, and they like off and they like really running with it. But the majority, and I'll be honest with this, like the majority of people don't. The majority of people will have like mindset battles. The majority of people will come halfway through a course and then like shy away from it because life gets in the way. Mindset gremlins get in the way. And then it's like the amount of times as well, I've had clients come back through the academy like a year later because they like, oh, life got in the way, but now I'm ready. So for that reason, I give a year access to me, to coaching sessions where we can get like deep dive hot seats, and I can literally dive into your business with you. But you also get lifetime access to the academy material. So once you've got the academy, you get the academy and the community group where you can pop questions in, and I'll come in and answer them as well, along with all the other academy girls. You get those forever. Like once you're in the academy, you're always in there. The only thing that stops after a year is the coaching sessions, which they don't have to stop either. You can have like a really low fee retainer to carry them on, or you can dip in and out. You could be like, if you know you're launching or you're doing something or you're implementing something new, you can dip back into these retainers and then pull back out again when you don't need it. Because I think that's the thing with coaching, is like people will go through courses and do this and do that and do that, and then it's like overload and you don't know what to do. So I think it's really important to be able to give that foundation so that you've got that like long term, like, and then you've got all the connections that I've got, you've got all the people that I know. So it's about having lifetime support rather than just one course, you done, dusted, gone, It's so much more than that. And I've realized people need more support than that as well, which is why I've decided to do things this way. So these are sort of some of the things, there's so many different things covered in there, but these are like the main core elements. So we start on like mindset, that's the first module you'll see in there, and you'll get like my training and my workbook in there. along with all other kinds of trainings and workbooks and exercises as well. So you don't just get my trainings. I always bring in experts, and we always do live experts as well. So if any, it's not often because we've got everything covered, but if any of the girls in the academy are like, I really want some training around this, and it's not covered in the academy, I find the people and bring them in to cover it. So literally everything's covered. You don't need anything else, literally, because it's all in here. Any aspects of business and life you could think of, it's in there. And if it's not, we bring it in. So you've got like loads of different stuff like meditations, different trainings around mindset. You get like time and essentialism is like the second core module. And there's like, again, different elements to that. Business and life plan. Now that is a big module, because when it comes to like business and life plan, it's multiple income streams. And this is quite a heavy module because not heavy in the sense of hard, it's not hard at all, but there's different. So you'll have my training, which will give you like the step-by-step, you know, how to map out that timeline and put things in there. And then you've also got a library of external trainings from like, if someone, I think we got like things like drop shipping, for example. People who wanted to learn how to, you know, set up that kind of smart income stream. There's a training in there from an expert in that area. I'll be going in there live this year, doing trainings on how to, because that's something that's not in there, is how to set up smart, completely outsourced businesses and manage teams and staff and things like that. There's also, I've got my good friend Rav coming in as well to do how to get on the property portfolio and really build that up from scratch. It's probably something we'll do combined because we're both properties, but she's also a financial advisor as well, qualified. So it'd be really good to get her in there and give that kind of, so those will be live trainings added. But the academy is basically, it's got everything. It's got all kind of business marketing training. So like there's stuff in there about Facebook ads, there's stuff in there about how to monetize a blog, there's Instagram trainings, everything, like anything you could think of, accounts, is all in there. So it's very simple in the sense of you've got my modules to just work your way through. And as you're implementing things and anything pops up and you're like, oh, I actually need to research a little bit more about this. Oh, can you hear the music just turned up in the pub? Can you hear that in the background? Like having a party, it's like darts night or something. We got like a 7-bedroom like flat above the bar and pub, and it's on tonight I think they've got some kind of darts thing going on or something, and I could just hear the music like whoop. Literally have a party in my house all the time. So it's basically, it covers all the different aspects and is a mixture in there from, you know, life and business, because it's the both, isn't it? It's like balancing the both. So the kind of people, I get asked this a lot actually, because usually when you see like business programs, you get like ones for starters and ones for people who've been established and in business for years. And I get asked this all the time, and the academy is literally an all-rounder. It's going to be suitable for you no matter what level you're at. So if you've not done business at all and you're completely new to business, it's fine, because it takes you through all the steps you need to start any kind of business. And if you're already established in business and you've got a really good, successful business, it's still good for you, because if you want to really like expand that, bring in external not external, what's it called? Other, alternate, not alternative. What's the word? Like more revenue streams. You know what I'm trying to say. So if you want to like add to that with other revenue streams, it like shows you ways of doing that. There's also stuff in there that we can really help you to focus on working smarter. So like if you're at a position where your business is working really well and you want to scale that, but you like maybe hit an income ceiling, or you're doing quite a bit yourself and you don't know how to like start outsourcing that and becoming, you know, a hands-off business owner where you can like tick away and you can take a step back and just go and love your life. Like we take you through those steps as well. Like I've done it myself with multiple businesses, and I know a lot of people as well who've also done it. So we bring different kind of elements to the table. So it doesn't matter what stage you're at in business. like literally the academy is well equipped and fitted for any stage of business. Doesn't matter where you're at. Like I said, it's good if your business is moving slow, it's not progressing, like it's going to really help you to be able to get things off the ground. And it's going to really help you to start thinking about like how you can start working in a really smart way, making more money and working less, because that is the core mission and the core purpose of the academy, is to get you freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, all kinds of freedom. Like that is what is embedded at the very root of the academy. So it's all about getting you like more time, more money, all those things. So, I'm all about like taking fast action. So what I've done with this launch, like you can sign up to the academy at any time, but what you don't get is all the amazing bonuses when you sign up. So this is why I, enjoy launching as well, because when you launch, you can offer like amazing fast action bonuses to sign up within a week. So like you've got a week to sign up and get all of these exclusive bonuses and a low cost as well. Because once this launch is over with, the academy cost in like the standard cost will be increasing as well. And I'm not one of them people who will say something's going to increase and it doesn't, it does. And as much as that pains me sometimes as well, because I see people who really wanted to join and then they've not been able to join till the next time, I still hold the pricing. Like I don't do that, because I think you need to be very, very, what's the word? I can never get my words out. You have to do what you say, like, you know what I mean? You've got to like do these things. You can't just say you're going to do something and then not do it. So I do hold my, whatever it's called, you know what I'm saying? I can't speak, and I'm even worse at this time of night. Why did I decide to do the challenge lives at like 8 in the morning when I never get up at 8 in the morning? And then I decided to do the launch at this time at night when I'm just not functioning at this time of night either. Again, you just kind of stick to daytime stuff in future. Oh, what we like. Yes, so some of the bonuses you get then with the this launch, basically you get all of my business templates and, oh my God, this done for you launch emails. I know some of you would have like heard about this from the challenge when I was talking about it, but when did we work on these? Was it last year or the year before? So one of my long-term clients and friend, Anita, she is a copywriter. She's absolutely amazing. She's like worked on so many of my like launch emails and things like that. And we worked together on completely mapping out and writing launch copy for social media and for your emails. Because one of the things that when I was like bringing people through the academy and then like reviewing everything and like trying to like do everything to make sure I'm giving the best experience and journey, because I want people to get good results. So I'm always trying to find out like what was the hardest bit, like, and I always thought it'd be the tech. It'd be the putting the link in the funnels together and doing this and that and the other, and the actual tech behind business. And it wasn't. It was nowhere near. Like by far, the most common problem or like struggle people had was writing launch copy. So when it comes to launching, when you release anything, when you like launch a business or a new offer, it's good to launch it. You might have heard of people like when they open a shop, they have like a launch party or a launch opening. There's different ways of, and when you launch something, it's done in a strategic way and like launching. So my launch outline lasts like 6 to 7 weeks. And that's like launching something online, like programs, courses. And like I said, this can change. And often I change it depending on like the individual and if they want to do things a bit differently, but the outline is basically the same. And one thing that I noticed is when it comes to that launching and doing that strategic copy and the marketing behind it, people struggled, even though I would be telling them step by step, like this week, go and talk about this, that, and the other. That week, go and do this, this, and that. But they would still struggle to go and do it, even though I'm telling them step by step what to do. So then me and Anita came up with launch copy. So we've literally written out 7 weeks of marketing material for you to put on your social media platforms, for you to send out your email, and it is gold. It is literally gold. I'm so proud of it. So that's part of like the templates you get, but you get templates in everything, like literally anything you could think of is there. Sales pages, everything. So it does make a big difference. I'm all about making business easy and helping people to be able to just take the actions that they struggle with. Because a lot of time, again, it's mindset. And once you've got that copy in front of you, it's like, oh yeah, that's easy now. And then you can just twist it and change it and put your spin on it the way you want. But it's so much easier when it's there for you to just kind of have that template to work from. Do you know what I mean? It makes a big difference. So you get also my Ultimate Launch Program. And this needs to be a different program in its own. I think it's like 5 modules. But when people are building their business foundations and getting all their like things straight, it's then really beneficial to have that separate. So when you go into a launch and you might launch different things in your business at different times, you can always refer back to just that launch program. And it makes a big, big difference to have that outline, because it does need to be strategic. And again, it's simple. It's about breaking it down, because there's so much stuff out there otherwise being like, oh, do this, do that. So literally the launch program is like the copy is all there for you. And then it's like tick lists to tell you, like talking you through figuring out who you're targeting, what's your message and your like core, you know, trigger points when you're targeting them, and then getting like the outcome solution so that you can really focus on converting them into sales or higher in your conversion rates. So it's really, really strategic, and it's broken down in the most simple ways. It's amazing. And it sells really, really well. I sell that separately, but it's part of the academy, because the academy is an all-rounder. So when you get the academy, you get everything. I'm also doing an in-person event. So I'm so excited because I'm going to be doing more in-person events this year. It's something that I've kind of wanted to do in the past and then talked myself out of, and then like COVID hit, and then I was like, that's a good excuse not to do in-person stuff. So if it's one thing I've realized is every time I show up and I'm with people in person, oh my God, the fire I get in my belly. I feel amazing being around people in real life. And last November, I did my very, very first retreat with clients of mine who'd been through the academy as well. So I got to know them virtually, and I can't not put into words, I just can't put into words like how it felt them being in person with them. And like, oh, it was just amazing. So for me, doing in-person stuff with my academy girls is like, I just can't wait, because I know like the feeling of when you've been working with people, getting to know people online, and then you come together in the room, it's like, oh, it's so emotional, but it's brilliant. And it just really like lights everything up, gets you like even more inspired, motivated to go and do stuff. It just changes things. It really does. So I can't wait. We're going to be doing in-person stuff, and it's all going to be part of the academy as well. The drop-in coaching sessions, like I said, every fortnight. You get to drop into the sessions, and you'll be able to like put yourself forward for a hot seat. So if there's something you really need to focus on, you need like a collective group of women to come back and feedback and give ideas, then that's what we do. A little bit like what we were doing in the challenge for you, those of you who was in the challenge. You'll see quite often when someone was coming up with questions, I was saying, let's put it in the group, let's get everyone's feedback on it, because it's so important to bring that you can get like multiple opinions on it and multiple eyes on your like questions and things. So if you're doing something, you want more opinions and more eyes on it, that's what we get time to be able to do that. And that's why I said, you know, we now do it this way, where you get the drop-in sessions purely to focus on you guys, and you do the training separate. You know, it just makes things so much easier, because then you get that focused time. It makes it more like a mastermind rather than a program where you just expected to just get on with it, you know. Makes a big difference. And the guest expert trainings too. There's literally guest expert trainings in there for everything. Oh, and I'm throwing another bonus in as well. So the very first 3 people to sign up will get a one-to-one coaching session with me as well, which is really good. Like, you can take it anytime as well. So if you're like starting out and you want to get a really good like starter, then it's good for that. If you're going to be launching something, or if you want to come up with some kind of, make money quick kind of idea to try and pull some money together quickly, we can like focus on that. It depends, like we can use the one-to-one for anything, but it allows us to really deep dive without any other distractions, or like without the group setting, so we can be really focused. And what I tend to do in my one-to-one sessions as well is we'll fill out feedback forms and questionnaires before, so that we make the most of the one-to-one time. I can't believe the amount of people that do one-to-ones and they just rock up and then they like asking the questions on the one-to-one what the one-to-one's going to be about. And I'm like, I've done it myself, and I'm very reluctant to work with people one-to-one because I've had this experience so many times, and I'm like, wow, you're wasting my time. I quite often now, when I work with coaches, send them a load of information before I get on the one-to-one, so that I know we're using the time effectively. But yeah, so that's something that we do as well. And as you can see, all of these things are worth a whopping amount. So research will show you that this kind of price bracket for what you get in is way above 6K. And the way 6K is at the very lower end scale. And the reason that is because the Academy is set up more like a long-term mastermind. Because it's not, do yourself, go crack on with it. It's completely live. You get hot seats, question and answers. It's very, very intimate based and interactive, rather than just me showing up, teaching you something and then going off. It's actually me showing up and coaching you. We're getting into discussions. It's not like a program. It shouldn't really be called a program, but it is what it is. So it's more like high-end coaching. And the reason as well, because like I don't ever encourage people to like drop their prices low or put things really low. In fact, I encourage people to price their programs at what they're worth. And in case anyone's wondering, well, if like, why are you not pricing it above 6K? It's purely and utterly to do with who I target. Like if I wanted to target entrepreneurs who were all, established six-figure owners, then I could, because I use paid ads. So I could literally specifically target those people. And I know I could put my prices whatever the hell I wanted to because they pay it. But that's not who I want to work with. That's not who lights me up. That's not what I'm passionate about. What I'm passionate about is helping women who are really passionate about their family, and who want that freedom, who've got the same sort of drive and feelings as what I've got when it comes to wanting freedom, when it comes to putting family and your life before work. Because too many people and it's nothing wrong with it. I'm not, putting anyone down, but this is my values. This is how I like to live my life. So I target women who feel the same way as me, because that's what I'm passionate about. And that's the person I can help the most. It's not good me going and training corporate kind of people who really love working with corporate businesses and going out to work. And, of course I could train them, but I don't, because it's not what I'm passionate about. We've got different values. So that's why my prices are kept low, because I target like women, and especially when they're in the starting stages, women who've been like made redundant, women who've put up with shitty workplaces and have been treated wrongly, women who want to really make a change in their lives, who don't necessarily have the funds to go paying, one-to-one coaching and high-end masterminds. So I want to give that high-end experience, but at a lower end cost, and that's why I keep my prices low. I have to, because of the women I want to work with. So, and again, like to make things easier, everything that I bring into the Academy is all about making it easy, done for you stuff, which again is more value. It costs more, because when you're getting things that's literally done for you, there's so much more value in that, because then you've taken the work away from you and to do it yourself. Again, another really good reason why this is a high value, low cost investment is because, like I've already explained, we do hot seats. It's not just live coaching in the sense of me live teaching you. It's not like that. the pre-recorded sessions for you to watch. And then when you get me live, it's literally to interact and feedback and answer your questions so that you can take that training and then come into a live session and get coached, you know? So that's, again, so much more value than just watching a program. So all of these bonuses alone, without the actual academy, which is worth over 3K, is the bonuses on their own are like over 5K worth. So you can get all of this at a monthly cost over 12 months, 257, or you can save even more money again and have a massive discount off that if you pay it in front. And you get if you pay 1,997 up front, you get 1,000 discount off. So it's a huge discount. To look at the sales page and read into this in more depth, you can click on, if you just like type into Google bit.ly/Freedom Life Academy, you'll see the sales page, and you can read all this information that I've given you on the sales page as well. And there's one more offer that I've got as well for you. And this offer is just for one person. So I don't offer one-to-one packages anymore. I used to do like 3 months one-to-one or 6 months one-to-one. I don't offer just one-to-one packaging anymore because, to be completely honest, I don't see the point in it, because half of the time when I was working with one-to-one clients, I'd always give them the academy because they need community. You need like that sense of community. But one thing I do offer every now and again, and it's very, very limited because obviously it takes up my time, I offer one-to-one family like experiences. So this is in the sense of a VIP luxury retreat where, you know, our families spend time together. So you get all of the academy, you get all of everything basically, you get all of it, plus a VIP experience where you get a luxury retreat. You get monthly one-to-one sessions for the whole year. This is something I've never done before in the sense of giving one-to-ones for the whole year, but I think it'll just go really nicely for one person alongside the academy. And the reason why this is such an incredible deal is because when is it? When does my current mastermind run up? Is it June? I think my current mastermind girls that were together, so I run a closed mastermind, very limited numbers. That closes in June, so it'll be opening up for more people. So my mastermind will be opening up in June. And when that opens up, it's over £1,000 a month to be on that mastermind. So you can see why, and that's a group session. So group, like the mastermind is a group environment. You get all the VIP treatment, you get retreats, that stuff. But the thing is, like for this one VIP offer that I'm offering one person, you get all of that plus one-to-one sessions for a whole year. Like this is like an offer I've never really given out before. And it is a very, very like incredible offer for one person to grab, where they'd be able to get, like, for literally not much more than the mastermind, you get a one-to-one experience with it. You get to bring your family on a holiday with us, and you get to learn literally with my eyes on your business. So it's more in depth than anything else. Like obviously with the group coaching, you get my eyes, but it's not as, it's a different level. When you're working with someone one-to-one, you get to know them so well that I can literally see their business and see what would work with them, and like literally treat it like my own business and be able to really help them get it off the ground. So one-to-one is amazing. It's just, I don't have the time to be able to do it for like lots of people. So it is a very, very rare one place like offer. And that's on a like first come basis. So if anyone wants to know more about that or chat to me about that, then just message me and we'll jump on a call to talk about it. So the challenge winners. So I drew these out earlier. I did take a screenshot and put it on Instagram story. Since I've had a new phone, going off on a tangent now again. Since I've had a new phone, I can't take screenshots and just like, no, like usually whenever I do like put stuff on my stories, usually I'd like take them from there and put them on Facebook on my personal profile, because like my girl Sarah that does all my social media platform marketing. But what I do is focus on my stories, and then I take them, put them on my personal page, and sometimes share them to the other places. And what I can't do it on my new phone. It's such a pain in the ass because I can't just like, when I download the stories, I can't upload them to Facebook. And then I thought, right, I'll screenshot it because then the option might be there. And I can't screenshot on the phone. It's like, sorry, going off on a tangent. But yeah, so I did this just before. So the winners, you've read them, and I haven't even announced them because I've just been like, blah, 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 blah. So the winners of the gift hampers, the first draw was Karen Collins. Well, I can see Karen. Hi, my fellow Welshie. The second gift hamper goes to Lisa. Now, I don't think Lisa's on because I'm sure Lisa messaged earlier and said she couldn't get on your live tonight. But she had the second draw prize, and the enrollment onto the Mumpreneur Business Academy at 95% discount. Draw was to Jenny Broadhurst. Well done. So congratulations, everyone. And if you could just contact me with your addresses, drop me a message for the details for you to claim your prizes. Okay, so I'm going to just stop sharing my screen a minute and have a little look at the chat box. Hang on, where is it? Stop share. There you all are. Congratulations. Does anyone have any questions before I love you all and leave you? I'm just looking back to see if I missed anyone. Hi. Life is short and precious. It so is. Daily gratitudes, yeah, definitely. Congratulations, guys. Okay, so I can't see any new questions coming up. You all know where I am anyway, so if any of you have any questions at all, the challenge group is still going to be open for about a week, 2 weeks. So feel free to like catch up and use the content in there before it's taken down. And if anyone's got any questions for me or wants to hop on a call about the academy or anything at all, then just give me a shout. Oh, you're very welcome. It's been lush. I've loved this challenge and I've loved like the effort you've all brought. It's been really, really good. So I love you all. I'm going to see you now. I'm going to press goodbye because I can't believe I've been on here over an hour. Time flies when you're having fun. Right, good night, guys. See you all. Bye.